Hey, we live in a state where your self-defense rights are under attack. Let us be your voice to help defend and restore the Second Amendment. Help spread the word about the fight. There's 2 easy things you can do. 1, like and subscribe to the show on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, the podcast, or whatever way you like to listen to the show. Also, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps boost the show and puts it in front of a lot of people. All right, our favorite subject is coming up right now. Stump my nephew.
That's right. Every week, if you write in, send us some kind of gun trivia. And if we use your question on the air, we'll give you a hat or a shirt. If you stump my nephew, we found out that my nephew, Sam, is extremely good at gun trivia. And so if you stump my nephew, you get a lifetime of training from what's the name of it? What's the name of it, Jackson? Front Sight. That's exactly right. Jackson's going to ask the question. Jackson's on the show because we needed a little bit more youth perspective. We decided to go really young, right? How old are you again?
8.
Nice. We decided the show was a little too pale, male, and stale. So you're here to jazz up and get the youth demographic excited. How do you feel about that?
Great, and it's an honor to be here.
Well, it's an honor having you here, man. You're doing a great job. All right, let me introduce you. You talked to him last week, but I'm going to introduce you to my nephew, Sam. Sam, you there?
Yeah, how are you guys?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm all right.
You're no longer the youngest person on the show. How does that feel?
I don't know. It's interesting.
Jackson's here. He's here with his dog, Chase, his service dog, who's awesome. I'll just let everybody know a little secret. I got to pet Chase a couple minutes ago. It was awesome. You're not supposed to. Don't tell anybody. It's just between us. But I may have pet him a little bit. So, all right, my friend, are you ready for the question, Sam?
Yeah, I hope so. You guys have been hitting me hard lately, so let's hear it.
Yeah, this one's not bad. I don't know. I have faith. I think you'll be able to do this one. So this one is from Gregory in Encinitas, and he asks,
What is Magpul FMJ9?
what is a Magpul FMJ9, Sam?
Gregory from Encinitas, thanks for writing in. Now, most of you probably know Magpul for their PMag magazines and for all sorts of other molded plastic accessories like grips and stocks and all sorts of other furniture pieces like that. But they have also done some small arms research of their own, and one of the firearms that they designed in-house was called the FMJ9. And this was, I think, about 12 years ago, 13 years ago or so, that they revealed this at SHOT, and it stands for Folding Machine Gun. This was a submachine gun that folded in half into something more resembling a briefcase, the idea being that it would be useful for security personnel who had to look a little more discreet, like Secret Service agents.
That sounds right. The question or the answer they wrote is the prototype for Magpul looks like a box with a flashlight attached to it, but look a little closer and you'll see it's actually a submachine gun. It was developed as a personal protection weapon for the U.S. Secret Service or possibly law enforcement agencies. The gun is small enough to be disguised as a small package or laptop battery and can fit in a pants pocket. You got it right. How did you know that, man?
It's such a distinctive design that I would be remiss if I didn't at least know it by name, if not more details about it.
That's a great answer. Have you ever shot one?
I have not. Unfortunately, they only reached the prototype stage. One company, I forget who it was, it might have been Zev at SHOT 2021, I think, said that they were working on trying to bring it back, but nothing's been heard since then. So it might just be, if you'll pardon the pun, another flash in the pan.
I get it. Have you ever been to SHOT Show?
I have not.
You got to go to SHOT Show. Are you going to go? We got to get you to. I wonder if you can go this year. Do you have time to go this year?
Probably not.
Or is that college thing getting in the way?
Yeah.
You got to go to SHOT Show, man. You're a famous radio Second Amendment guy. I think it'd be interesting. You can.
I'll take your word for it on the famous part, but it would definitely be interesting. That much industry stuff concentrated in that kind of a space is pretty special.
Jackson, you ever been to SHOT Show?
Not yet.
Not yet. Are you going?
Someday.
Someday. It sounds fun, huh?
Very.
Well, can I go if you go?
Yep.
I don't know if I can keep up with you and Chase, though. I got to tell you.
Hey, Sam, has anybody from your store ever been to SHOT Show?
Yeah, I've heard people say. I mean, I can't remember names specifically, but I've heard a couple of people say they've been to SHOT and that it was just as impressive as you would pick up from the press coverage.
Yeah. Well, if somebody from your store went, maybe one day when the time's right, you can.
Oh,
take
you're
a run.
talking employees at the store.
Correct.
No, I don't think anyone outside of the two owners of the company
Right.
have been. I don't think, but I'm not positive.
Do you know? So this Magpul, do you know? Was it based on something else? Was it based on some other chassis or firearm?
I don't think it was. I don't know all that much about the inner workings, seeing as it only made it to the prototype stage. I gather that it was a pretty conventional, simple blowback design, and that there wasn't a whole lot unique about it except the form factor. They were trying to keep the parts that could be simple relatively simple and work hard on perfecting the parts that were unique, namely the folding in half thing. But that's a pretty well understood system, a simple blowback submachine gun. There have been a lot of those through the years.
I don't even. Does Magpul? Do they make firearms, or are they just accessories? I can't even. I'm trying to think of a Magpul firearm. Or was this?
Magpul does not make any firearms of their own, but they did design another firearm that you have almost certainly seen an example of, or at least heard of. The Bushmaster ACR, made by Remington, actually designed by Magpul as the Masada, and then they sold the design off because they didn't really have the in-house production capability. There are a lot of firms that have designed firearms but couldn't make them themselves, so they had to contract that out. Armalite is actually an example.
Yeah, I'm looking around the room. We all knew that, Sam. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I mean,
Yeah, right.
hey, so we were talking about the Alec Baldwin thing, and I didn't. You're not prepared for this at all. I didn't prepare you. I'm putting you on the spot. But
He's
what are
not
you
prepared for anything?
I know we always put him on the spot. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of the
That's
segment.
the whole point of the show.
But what are your thoughts on what happened with, or what you know, or what you've read as far as the Alec Baldwin movie set incident?
Well, I've been talking about it with family and coworkers, and the way I like to look at this is sort of tracing it backwards from the moment the trigger was squeezed. Obviously, Alec Baldwin was at fault primarily because he was being irresponsible. He was breaking all 4 rules of gun safety. Back from that, he should have known how to ensure that the firearm was clear. Otherwise, he shouldn't have been handling it. Beyond that, whichever person on the set, whomever handed him the firearm, who didn't check it first to ensure that it wasn't loaded, which obviously it was, they were also at fault because you should not really hand someone a loaded gun unless they know for sure you're handing them a loaded gun. Really, I would say that there are very, very rare circumstances you should hand someone a loaded gun at all. You just hand it to them empty, they load it themselves. Then back from that, there might be some issues on set with how ammunition was being handled. Clearly, live ammunition got into an area where it wasn't supposed to be, and it's always very important, even when you're doing your dry fire practice at home, that you completely isolate your live ammo from your dummy rounds or snap caps or what have you. So multiple different people were at fault. Baldwin definitely was. At least one other person was.
Have you read much about the head armorer that was in charge of the set?
I've looked a little bit. Whenever there's something like this that happens, there's always this temptation to dig up people's past and decide, oh, clearly this was a bad person, regardless of that individual's technical qualifications. So I don't really want to take a stance on that. What is known for sure is that the head armorer was Thel Reed's daughter, and he's a pretty prominent Hollywood armorer and cowboy action shooter. So I would be surprised if she did not receive proper training on weapons handling from her father.
Yeah, I think she's I think she's going to take the brunt of this. To be honest,
that was a very good analogy of the situation. By the way, I just want to bring that up because we bounced it around quite a bit, and I think you probably put it out as succinct as anybody could. Seriously.
Well, in the end, everything does kind of come back to the head armorer. So even if there was an issue of someone not knowing how to do something properly, they should have been instructed on how to do so. I'm not sure how much of a role the head armorer plays in this. As I said, we have to wait for more facts to come out from the investigation.
Well, excellent job. You got your question right, and
Absolutely.
then some. As always, great job. Stump my nephew, Sam the gunman. You saved me a front site membership. I don't have to give one away this week, so that's awesome.
Well, this was a good one this week. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Take care. Say hi to the family.
Yep, you guys have a good night.
All right, folks. Subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, YouTube, or whatever your favorite flavor is. And please support all our great sponsors. San Diego County Gun Owners, U.S. Law Shield, the Dillon Law Group, PRMI Mortgage, 365 Glacier, Scott Vincent at Coldwell Banker Royalty Realty, and National Concealed Carry Association. Thanks to Michael Schwartz, Sam the Gunman, Joe Germisi, and Joe in the box with his lovely assistant, Brendan Thomas.
And Jackson and Chase.
Absolutely. Right here on FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.